Oh,
So anyway, you know, so what was special about each one of your siblings? If you just go through John, Margaret, Mary, Paul.
John uh, wanted to be a priest, Jesuit. He applied with, I remember a couple of the guys, Billy Ahern, Red Riley, John, and there was another one. But anyway, they selected two of the four, and John was not one of them. He was kind of disappointed at the time. He loved the scholastic end of it, and he loved the Jesuit order. Thought they were well disciplined. And, anyway, Margaret Mary was always just a good-natured gal her whole life. She got up in the morning like your little daughter Mary, smile on her face, no grouch. And I was kind of closer to her, probably than Paul and John. If I was going to go out on a date, I'd get dressed as good as you could. And I said, how do I look? And I had to pass her inspection. And so I was always close with Margaret Mary. Paul was 3.5 years younger than me, and he had his own crowd. And Paul was very politically oriented. He loved politics, and I had no interest in politics at all. I didn't like him then, you know. not that I knew everything was going on. I just didn't. I didn't adhere to that at all. That was his. I mean, after he got out of boxing and got into education, he got into politics. Did a lot of work for Jimmy Griffin, who became mayor, and Jimmy thought the world of Paul. Paul did a lot of work for him. Did a lot of work for a lot of politicians, and so that's my brothers. John was John very intellectual. He wrote that well, not a thesis, but you read that article he wrote on his tour across Europe, and he loved all that. And he was John was never home a lot. He was gone a lot. In the summer, he was gone all summer to the working on the farm, and there'd be Paul, Margaret, Mary, and I at home, and then if it was nice weather, I'd be out with a friend of mine, Gene Ledman. We'd be out hunting woodchucks or something out at his father's. His father had a cottage in Colden, New York. So in the summer, a lot of times I would do that, and then Paul would be hanging out with his own clique. So we didn't, as brothers, we didn't do a lot of things once we got outside the house together. It seemed like we had separate things we did. Other than that, where were we? Oh yeah, well
So then your relationship with Grandma
oh
was
yeah, I
that?
had a great
Gr-
great relationship with my mother.
yeah.
Oh yeah, she was a whiz in the math. She's a good teacher. And I was having a little trouble with algebra. And, man, she'd solve that problem and and she'd break it down. Oh, she'd make it so easy. So I did. Norm Hayes was my teacher at Canisius High for algebra and a sophomore intermediate. Oh yeah, I remember I got 88 or 90 in both of them. I did pretty good. My mother was a big help. If I stuck with a problem, she'd just come over and sit down and bing, bing, now we do, and then bing, solved. I said, oh, yeah. She was amazing. But she was a great mother. I had great parents, even though they're, generation apart. My father, the discipline end, but he never never laid a glove until that, and that was my fault. I didn't blame him, you know.
So it seems, and obviously, I've read a little bit about John, but John was kind of always seemed to be striving for an understanding of things. He went to Georgetown and
Oh
basically
yeah.
adhered to kind of more of a Republican, right wing,
Oh yeah. Oh
smaller
yeah.
government philosophy.
He's strong. Oh, I was amazed when I mentioned something about FDR. Oh, he just went Fahrenheit, you know. And, here we were raised staunch Democrats during the Depression, and FDR was like a hero to everybody. You know, he got you out of it. Well, we got into war, but I mean, during the Depression, he had CCC camps, he had the DPW, the NRA, the National Recovery Act. He had all kinds of things going, and he got instead of 12 guys hanging around in the corner with nothing to do. There was jobs that they didn't pay much, but at least people were out doing something. They weren't just sitting around. But when John took off on FDR one day, I was stunned. I mean, this was long after I was married. I forgot it. I kind of forgotten it. Then I drifted away. When I got working at Ford, I had I worked hourly for years, and I saw the union side. And then I got out of that and got into supervision, and I saw a lot of the things that were going on that were wrong, in my opinion. And I saw how the the union was manipulating the plant, though. They would walk into a salaried office for employees and go right into their files. And I was in there one day, and I said to one of the his name was Ed Smolinski. Hey Ed, I said, what's that committee man doing in your files? Oh, he says, it's all right. He says, we have an agreement. I thought, what the? Why are they allowing that to happen? Well, it was awful, the things that were going on, and I had to, I had some employees, I'd have to drag them up to labor relations, and then they'd be represented by a committee man, and you'd have a big set to, and the union would 90 times would win. You'd lose. So they'd just about discourage you from bringing somebody up to labor relations.